Hello again, everyone. It's your favorite scruffy looking scoundrel, the Crazy Carillion Solo Straight. And I'm back with another video today because I want to go ahead and drop this real quick before May 4th Conquest comes back. That's right, we're going to be talking about Conquest. Now, not going to get into the specifics of everything to do with Conquest. There's a lot of Conquest tutorials out there. But what I want to talk about today specifically is how we're going to get to the Darth Malgus Conquest event for those of you who are free to play. And I know most of you are going, capital games, when we talk about Conquest, okay? However, I do like this game mode. But for those of you who are free to play, I want to make sure that we don't get too discouraged on the upcoming feats. Now, there's been data mined feats come out that the Inquisitors, of course, will be needed heavily for this conquest. Now, what does that mean exactly if you want to get Darth Malgus into 3 cycles, right? That means that the red crate is going to be even harder to obtain. That's right. It's going to be totally difficult here compared to previous conquests. And obviously, the conquest is going to be ramped up in difficulty based on what the reward is, right? And we're talking about a potential GL killer. His kit looks amazing. Some Old Republic synergy. We need some fresh Old Republic characters. So I'm very excited for this guy. However, as a free-to-play, the reality is that I don't have the Inquisitors, right? You're probably like me. They just come out. They're just now slowly being released to be farmable. So if you didn't go ahead and put some money into the game, if you're free to play, these are going to be some hard challenges in this conquest coming up. So I want to make sure we talk about what potentially it means for those of you who are probably not going to be able to red crate this time around. And can you get him, okay? So when we break down the data mine, right, and I don't mean just looking at how it's a hard conquest and you got to know the hard map and the route to go, right? What we're looking at today is that there are going to be 3 specific Inquisitor team related feats. And that's going to be 14 battles in Sector 5 that are going to be for 15 key cards, right? So 15 key cards, Sector 5, got to have a full team. Probably not going to happen for a lot of us without some help from Data Disk, right? So then Sector 3, you're going to have to defeat 50 characters with the Inquisitor teams. Probably not going to be as difficult. Done this in the past, right? Even at low star, you could probably throw a GL in there or a better team. Just have them on the team, do a lot of mass assist, only give them credit for the kills, let the time run out, of course, so that you're not burning your stamina. But that's going to be 10 key cards, so it's not totally out of the picture. However, it is something to call out. If you don't have these Inquisitor members, it's going to be a little difficult to get. And then ultimately, for 4 key cards, the Sector 4 boss feat, right? You're going to have to win using some Inquisitors. And what that means is, unless you've got some good disc, we're talking Sector 4 bosses, you're going to be facing relics. So it's going to be kind of a challenge for those 4 points. And then for the 4th one, you're going to have to inflict Purge, the Purge mechanic, 300 times in Sector 4. So of course, that's going to be Inquisitor-related debuff, which is going to make up 39 key cards. 39 points, guys, that come from the Inquisitorious faction, the Inquisitors themselves, right? So anybody that's doing some quick math on that, right, even with good data discs, and even with the new data discs that are coming, which we'll have to see how that impacts the game, you need 630 total key cards for a red crate without these Inquisitor feats. So let's just do some quick math for those of you who are thinking, I might not red crate, I want to go for the red crate, maybe I should get the Conquest Pass, okay? So let's break down the math on that. The Conquest Pass is going to give you 20 shards, right? That's what it gives you. And you're going to be able to get the 20 shards from the scavenger node each conquest. So that's going to help you out in your path. But if you're not getting the 90 from the red crate, if you're only getting the 65, right, because you're only gold crating, the math says that you're not going to be able to get Darth Malgus in 3 conquests. You're just not going to be able to do it. Even with the pass, right, the booster of the pass, because you're not going to be at the 630 theoretically. So what that means is you're looking at a 4 conquest cycle minimum to get Darth Malgus, right? If you're only hitting gold. So what's happened is CG's kind of put you in a predicament where if you're not going to red crate, you're probably forced to buy the Conquest Pass for the remaining shards. And that's just to get close. So you're still at best looking at 4 conquest cycles to get Darth Malgus. And that's if you only get yellow crates, right? So you're still going to have to somewhere in there try and find a way, maximize your disc to get a red crate. It's just not going to be attainable unless you do some serious rush farming of some Inquisitors, and that's going to be a lot more expensive than the Conquest Pass would be to begin with anyway, right? So it's probably not going to be the route you want to go. So what I submit is this: get the Conquest Pass if you don't red crate the first cycle, but you can gold, right? So that tells you you're going to hit gold. You're going to hit gold. If you do it once, you can do it to 3 cycles, right? The feats don't change, so maybe some tweaking of discs. But if that's the case, the math says 65 shards from gold crate, right, plus the 20 scavenger shards in 4 conquests, you're going to actually be able to unlock them, right? Whereas before, you're going to be 15 shards short, no matter what. So, theoretically, just want to throw that out there for you free-to-play gamers like myself. I'm not saying you can't spend money at your account and do what you want to do, right? I'm not advocating that you don't do that or you do that. I'm just saying I'm giving you the option for the math breakdown before Conquest starts tomorrow, that if you're not going to red crate, if you've had trouble red crating in the past, if you're in the middle of this Conquest in a few days and the red crate doesn't look obtainable, probably want to go dropping money on the Conquest Pass, because in the end, 4 conquest cycle minimum is the only way you're going to get this done, right? Now, some of us are still free to play, so we're not going to go for that pass. Math is hard, right? It's the only way to do it unless you red crate, so I'm going to go for the red crate. That being said, I'm going to stay true to free to play, but we'll be releasing some upcoming tutorials next couple of days, within a week or so, as Conquest unveils for these Inquisitor specific feats. Show you how I can get them done, if they're possible, if they're not possible, some team variations, right? So be looking for that following up, because I want to help you guys stay free to play. Not knocking in any way. If you want to drop the money on the pass, the math is there. You can do it in 4 conquests. There's no pressure to red crate. You just got to gold and spend about 30 bucks. And in the interest of overall, it's 30 bucks versus how much to take Inquisitors up, right, to a proper level. So it's a good investment. I'm not going to knock it. It's just not for me because I'm free to play. So, going for the red crate, going for it free to play. Now, will I be getting the red crate? I don't know. I'd like to think I will. To this point, I've always red crated. But for those of you who thinks I can't do it, never tell me the odds. Alright, for those of you that stayed this long, full disclosure, I pulled the video down and reshot it because I totally messed up some of the math with the feats and things like that and the way the Conquest Pass works. So I apologize if you saw that already, and then I pulled it down. So do understand I was still suffering from some carbonite freezing and wasn't quite myself. So I do appreciate you rewatching it and look forward to future videos.